Looks like it's almost time. We're getting close. Hello, how are you tonight, Mildred? Good to see ya. Just kind of getting started here by coloring, working on this, because this is going to be one of my little Easter baskets I'm going to make here in a little bit. Kind of reminds me of those adult coloring sheets. Oh, I guess I better take my gum out of my mouth. I'm such a gum chewer. Anybody else out there leave their gum on the bedpost every night? Well, not the bedpost, but I did have a gum saver as a kid, and if you ask someone who knows me in person, I do have a stash of gum. I've ABC gum. Yes, I do. All right. Well, this is Sarah Poff. And those art hands, they're a gift from God. I'm the multimedia storyteller, and I want to tell you a little story here. And this one has to do with creating art. So I have a little trick I've used before to make this little basket. And it's made with an envelope. Any size will do. The cool thing about it is that you can make it, get a bigger envelope, and slide it in, just like that, and mail it to somebody. So you can make your own little card. All right. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. Of course, you can use Easter grass. You can fringe some green paper and put in there. So let's just get started. I'll show you some tricks along the way. So the first thing you need to do is you need to lick the envelope. Or pull off the strip if you have some, but mine are donated envelopes. You know, people are really good to me. God is really good to me, and people bring me donations. I share with a lot of people, and then people bring me donations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about how big do I want this handle to be. So I didn't bend it harshly, but I just did that so I kind of know where the middle is. So then I'm just going to come down with the handle like this, and then just come over. Now you'd rather make it bigger than smaller in the beginning. Looks like I came more on that side than I did this side, so I'm going to go back and do it like that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to cut over, turn sideways and cut. Now you can, if you use a colored envelope, you might want to just decorate it with some dots, or you might want to draw something. The kids at school, a lot of times they would draw like an Easter scene on here, whichever way their family decided to do that. Hi, Marianne, good to see you. So this is our little envelope. Now we can leave it flat, but there's also another trick I can show you, and that makes it stand. See how this one, that's an envelope. And that is actually standing, sitting, standing up. However you want to use those words. I always just keep using the words till I get them right. You know, if I don't think I got them right the first time, I just keep going. So I'm going to fold this. You know, you can see it better if I do like that. So I'm folding back and forth on each side. Like that. Then I'm going to do the same at the bottom. I'm going to fold it up like this. Then I'm going to open it back up. This is such an easy trick that I learned along the way from somebody. I don't know why I didn't know about it sooner. It was later on in my career that I found this one out. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, because you've seen containers fixed like this, you just, you had never done them maybe. So I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to simply do like that. See what I did? I kind of mashed that down into a triangle, and then this is like that. Then what I'm going to do here in just a few minutes, well, I can go ahead and glue it. Let's just go ahead and do it now. I'm going to glue it. Remember, if you don't want the kids to, or if you don't want to have trouble with the glue getting too much, you just open it a little bit. All right, then I'm going to have to hold that, and I usually rub it. Rubbing causes friction. Friction allows the glue to dry quicker. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to come on this other side. I think this is a real good one to fix, like if you were going to do something for the nursing home, or you had some people you wanted to give a little something to, or maybe even decorations in the middle of a table. Now it looks like to me, I don't measure. I'm not a measurer, but I should have. This side is wider than this. We're going to just go back, and we're going to just fold it a little bit more. I'm just so used to, if I add in that ruler piece, that the kids don't follow me very good, so I just do it. Most of them get it close, and then I just fix the ones I need to. So I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. It might be just a little hard till you get that motion in, but I'm sure you guys have seen something that was made like that. Alright, I didn't hold it long enough, did I? Sometimes I need the fold to be a little more precise, so I run my fingernails down it. I mean, you could measure, if you really wanted it to be an adult project, you could measure. You could take a lot of time to make those things work. So you can do this. This one I rubbed the crayon like I did the other night. So I rubbed it, and then I colored it brown to look like a basket. And then you just make eggs. Just take some colored paper of your choice. Sometimes if I'm using different colors of envelope, I will take those and take those little corners and keep those for people who are doing the eggs. So I have a bunch of eggs made here. So I wonder if, if you want small ones, you could do that little oval right there. If you want a little bigger one, I just take and kind of draw a circle and then bring it to more of a point. And then I want those eggs to be the same size, or at least close here. I'm sure when you cut this many, you don't always get it precise. And that's a skill I like to teach the children too, is I like to teach them that if you put it together, you can cut several at once. I had a high school teacher one time who just about freaked out when I showed her to do some Valentines that way, because she had the students trace every heart on every page, and we did it every year. And my mom had showed me to do it this way, and she did not like that. She did not like that. So like I said, you can use Easter grass. Or you can use green paper. I'm using just little pieces like this because that's what I had. So that's what I did. Now you see, you want it to be a little bit taller than your envelope. And then of course as wide as your envelope. So that's why I've got to use two pieces here. So I'm going to try to fringe this pretty thin. If I were doing it with little ones, I would encourage them to do a little bit wider than this. The older ones can handle this. I try to show varieties of ways that you can do an art or a craft, because we all know when we're working in a daycare, we're working at a church, we're working out in the community center. I work in the libraries a lot. We have children of all different ages there, so we need to be prepared for what kind of skill each one of those would have. All right, there we go. Now what I usually do before I actually put it in there is, it's easier. I mean, you can curl it, you could zigzag it down. I think it looks a little bit more like grass if I do that. But options are always a good thing when you're having fun with an art and craft. All right, now I'm going to stick it down in my basket. And I'm going to push it to the back because I'm going to want it to be in the back. Now see, it actually does look kind of dimensional there with how I put the paper in and how I smashed it up. All right, so now the eggs, I did dots earlier. I just did a hole punch and punched some dots and put them on there. You know, it'd be fun to do thumbprints or little paint dots with a lot of times I'll use a pencil eraser, and that way they make just a little bitty dot. Colored pencils are beautiful on it. Now some of the kids don't like to do that. They like markers because it's easy, but there are a lot, you can do a lot more with the color when you use a colored pencil, and then some blending and all that goes with it. All right, so I'm just going to glue these in so you can see how I do that. It doesn't really matter which way you put the egg, and you really wouldn't even have to have a whole egg, because I'm just going to glue them to the front like that. You could get fancy with this, and you could get some ribbon out and put a little ribbon on there. Maybe you have stickers. I know there are a lot of cheaper stickers out there these days that would fancy this up. You can make it plain. You can make it fancy. Now, when I'm trying to have it dimensional and it sits like this, I like to put the eggs on both sides. Of course, you need to color it before you start decorating all of this. I was having fun just right before I started talking with the one from last night. I did painting with the fork with the ink, and so it looks a lot like a woven basket. It makes me think of adult coloring sheets. Oh, I lost my egg. So what I'm planning to do is just each evening, I think I'm going to go with evening now, I'll send out the request. I'll make an event and send it out. Instead of trying to do 2, I'm just going to do 1. I'm trying to do a few things around here, and I think I've kind of come to terms with, staying in and trying to stay safe. And I've done a lot of praying over the last little while. And so I'm just, trying to do the best I can. And I'm sure that you guys are out there with me trying to do the best you can. So, the rabbit. Now my rabbit here, he's probably a good size if he were on the front of that, or if I stuck him down in here and then maybe glued him up like this. He might need to be a little bit taller there. So he's just circles. Now recycle paper. That's me. These there again, God provides supplies. Both of you ladies that are on the screen with me, you already know that God just, He provides me with supplies through people that I encounter in my life. So I'm going to just trace let's see, I'm going to trace this circle. What did I use? Oh, I used the ink bottle earlier when I was making it. So I always like to try to find a circle around. Now sometimes people do like 2 circles. Let's just do that. That's not what I did earlier. I did an oval, but let's just go for 2 circles and we'll put them together. So if you all have any fun Easter ideas that you've made, things you've made or done, if you would put them down in the comment sections underneath this after I post it, I think that would be fun if we share. I'm always learning from other people, and I want to continue to do that. All right, I'm going to trace the ones I've already made. It's just an elongated U. And I'm going to do it like the circles. I'm going to cut, and that's what I always encourage the kids, is I want to cut 2 together. Now, I'm not going to make it quite as big because I'm trying to make a little bit smaller bunny this time. So I'm going to cut inside that. So I usually try real hard to tell the students what shape. What shape is this? I read a book once that said that's how you get them to identify with that, being able to cut that shape or draw that is to give them an example of it. Okay, I want a bigger piece because I want to do the same thing with this. I want to fold it in half. I'm going to trace the ears that I did. And I'm going to cut inside. Okay, now I'm going to glue those in before I put them behind the rest of it. Oh, I don't like that. I want to cut a little more down. I want it to be a little smaller because I want it to have a pleasant look when I look at it. The design. I'm one of those people that like a nice design, no matter what I'm working on. Now, a clean house, that's a different thing. But a nice design, I like nice designs. But don't ask about that clean house. It doesn't happen very often. Only when big company are coming. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to paste those together, I think, at that angle. And I'm going to fold them up here to give them a little bit of a dimensional look. So I'm gluing them together, and they're folded like that. And then I'm going to do this. See, if you do that, it just gives them a little bit, not a lot. We want that one. I switched it around because I want this to be on the top because I want to draw the face on that. Okay, so there's many types of bunny faces. I don't know that I know the right one or the wrong one. I just do one that I think will work good, that maybe the kids can draw. So I did an upside down U, and this is the line underneath, little dot, little triangle, and then some whiskers, trying to color real light with the black, and then a tongue underneath. All right, so what we're going to do is nose. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to use the same color pencil. I'm just going to do one darker and one lighter. Now, of course, you could add the cotton on there if you wanted. I'm not going to do any more of this because if I were doing the basket that way, I would just glue him in. I glue him in about like that. Let's just go ahead and do that. I want to glue on the front side. Sometimes I goof that up, and I remember that. Well, that was one of the things the kids definitely goofed up. Okay, Mr. Rabbit, where should you go? Yeah, if you add something like the rabbit on there, you're probably going to have to put some rocks in there. Oh, it looks like I should cut this. Somehow I have a little edge there that I didn't intend. I thought I did better. You're always, when you're doing things, you always got to evaluate and improve. And then this one is just an envelope with Easter grass. But I know I try to every year make a few of these and mail them to some older people in my life. It's just like the one we did. I also have, and these make really fun ones because they're huge. A number of years ago, someone, there again, someone donated. And so these make really nice big ones. I a lot of times will use this one too for a harvest basket and have the kids do the same thing we just did, but to do it with vegetables and fruits that would be of harvest time. I like that one because that's one I could use at school, but I could also use at church when I was, oh, my helpers, they did not like that. Sometimes I employ children from my life. Been doing that for about 34 years. Started with the son and went through the daughter, and then eventually 2 other people in my extended friends, children or grandchildren. Okay, so then we've got this nice big one. All right, it's being graphic. Okay, so I'm gonna like take my fingernails and do that. But as you see, it can make a nice big envelope. So if you were wanting to take a small, it's a nice big basket there. If you want to take a small gift to somebody, and you had some legal size or 8.5 by 11 size envelopes, they work real nice. You could, this one is one that, with it being white, would be nice for a Christmas little basket or gifts of some kind. I love things that are simple, that are easy for everybody to find. The most joy that I always thought when I taught is if I could give the kids something that they learned a skill and then they went home and made more. That I felt like I was really a success. I'll never forget when I first went to the school I taught in for 23 years, I took and saved milk cartons, and we made milk carton masks. And I made that with, I think, like 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and, you know, of course, you have to wash them out, you have to slice them with a razor blade, but one of the first PTA meetings that they had after that, not the PTA meeting itself, but the board meeting, the women were sitting around talking about how that new art teacher, she had the kids all wanting them to pour out their milk into extra containers so they could make another mask at home. But they were excited about it. They were excited that their children were excited about continuing to do art. Okay, this is the one, and see what I did? I took that fork and I used the ink with it, and then I made the little graph like there that makes it look a little woven. So when I finish coloring this in, I'm going to make another basket out of it, and I'll try to post it down underneath. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining me and seeing my little project here. So I'll be praying for you, and if you'll pray for me, that God shows us ways that we can help other people in our life as we go through this time. This is Sarah Poff, and these art hands, they're a gift from God.